I noticed that some people. I love Moon Knight. I'm going to make that clear. I love Moon Knight. It's such a great series. I highly recommend it to everyone who doesn't know mental illness or what people with this challenge go through. But mental illness is a serious, serious thing. And what this Moon Knight show does is take a very, very serious matter as to what people with mental illness go through. These challenges, these problems. I mean, when you first look at the character, his name is Stephen Grant. But his actual identity, the main identity, there's always different multiple personalities. And there's four or three of them. Fourth, it seems like Moon Knight, but it seems like in the show they're making it where the different three different identities have different versions of the suit of Moon Knight, and people with DID do not have schizophrenia. The difference, and I've heard this multiple times, where people say it's schizophrenia. He has schizophrenia. Um, he has multiple personalities. No, there's two separate conflicts. It's extremely randomly common to misunderstanding. Randon Welton said, a professor of psychiatry at Penn State Melton Medical Center. It's based on the name. It's based on the name. If you go to the Greek roots of the word schizin, meaning splitting, and phren, as in PHREN, meaning mind, you have split brain or split mind. However, in the intended reference is to a split between reality and emotions, not split within a personality. That's what explains Walton. And you know what? That's what people with schizophrenia have. And I don't get why people even close to me say, "Oh, he has schizophrenia." Stephen Grant, Mark Spector has schizophrenia. That's not what this is, guys. And this is not funny. I've been mistreated with different mental challenges my whole life. People have mistreated me as a freak. People have bullied me. People have stabbed me in the back, bullied me. I've gone through this multiple, multiple times. And you know what? It's sad that people in this world today still mistaken mental illness, or people with mental illness get mistreated with people who are just mentally deranged. I mean, recently a friend of mine, or someone I interviewed earlier, who has a mom who has a boy who has autism. His name is Sebastian, and the son, the son's name is Sebastian, and the mother reads so hang on, I'm pulling it up. When all the kids run away, the overwhelming reality that kids run away from my son is heartbreaking. Today is an example. As I sat in the play area watching my son desperately wanting to play and make friends with other kids, they just ran. And honestly, when people know that I have medical challenges, know that I have severe social anxiety, That's exactly how I feel they're doing whenever they betray me or mistreat me for my mental illness, my anxiety. My anxiety at these times are at all time high. I'm shaking. I feel all the parents' eyes on my son as he doesn't understand their kids don't want to play. As he grabs a girl about his age, he just wanted a girl to go play with. Some people with this autism spectrum really have a hard time speaking or verbally talking. Um, and it's really sad because sometimes people with these with this autism struggle with communicating, talking, growing up. Even though I don't have autism, I had severe social anxiety issues. And when I had this, I would do the exact similar situation where I would say things, where I would do, awkward moment stuff where people would mistreat me, damage me, say, "What the hell is wrong with you? Dude, come on. What's going on? Okay, get away from me. I don't want anything to do with you. I'm done." I've had that people do that to me all the time growing up as a kid. Um, but see, he has an autism where he doesn't really talk. And people with autism, every child with autism, even at this age, would not emotionally or physically do the respectful response of meeting someone. And so that's what was going on with this kid. Um, and the mom was trying to explain about his personal space. He's getting upset and he doesn't understand. He's trying to make friends. He tells me, "Friends, mama." And how do I explain to my son that they don't want to play? You know, I had the same experience. I had similar issues with this. And it's people like this that have people who just have their kid run away and have their parents walk away, tell them treat your child like they're a freak, instead of saying, "You know what, he probably has a problem. Let's go talk to them. Let's go ask him what's going on. Why did your son grab my child's hand? He was just trying to make friends." And I have been through this situation my whole childhood. I have been. I'm not joking with you. I know I seem very different. Trust me, I did. And it was never easy for me to make friends. Some kids treated me differently. A lot of kids treated me differently, actually. even though I was, Even though years later, I was liked. Later on, there were a lot of kids that when they got to know me, they were like, "Stay the hell away from me," and it wasn't funny. So, um, I'm not gonna read that post anymore. Because I want to move on to kind of getting into my personal experiences now. But yeah, parents would tell me to stay away from me. Parents would tell their kids to stay away from me. Um, and it wasn't easy because they misunderstood that I had social anxiety issues. They didn't understand or wrap around their minds that, hey, he's got challenges, he probably has medical challenges, whatever. Instead, they pushed me away and said, "Stay away from me," or "Stay away from my sons. I don't want any. I don't want you anywhere near me or my son or my child." Um, so for me to hear that people, even though I don't have dissociative identity disorder, people who get who have this get triggered because they're trying to block out their emotions of sides of them in their mind, and what their brain does is rearrange it into an alternate personality. So like Steven was calling, I'm referring to Moon Knight, by the way. Steven was always calling his mom. Steven was always talking, checking in. That's the side of Mark that wanted to reconnect. But thanks to him blocking it out, it split into an alternate personality in which Steven was created. And Steven, just like in the show, did not know thought he had a sleeping disorder. He thought he was walking up, you know, to weird places. People with schizophrenia do not have this at all. And it pisses me off. Even from someone who has social anxiety issues, someone who has severe depression issues, or grew up with it, I can understand how people are like, why do you care? But I am someone who's in the mental health advocacy. And for me to constantly hear, oh, he has schizophrenia, which is referring to Mark Spector or Stephen Grant, whichever personality you're referring to of that character. That's not what schizophrenia is. Even though there could be a little bit of a similarity, a lot of people are jumping to this conclusion constantly that he has schizophrenia, that he is seeing things, that he's seeing things, and we're in the supernatural realm, okay, people. Like, there's, of course, we're gonna have him see that scare, the the walking scarecrow skeleton, um, called Khonshu, who was the moon god. That's not Steven's schizophrenia. That's him actually talking to a spirit, which he actually made a deal with, which I think they're hinting towards Ghost Rider coming, or it's testing how people react with Moon Knight, which I wouldn't be surprised if alongside, like, maybe 5 years from now we get Ghost announcement of Ghost Rider. Um, yeah, so please do not refer to people with schizophrenia as people with DID. It's not funny. It really is not. And people who have autism have the similar misconceptions, because they, even though the autism is one word, there's different spectrums of autism that branch out. And trust me, I've seen it. I've actually was in an interview by Caden Gordon, who had autism, or has autism, I'm sorry. And great show, great podcast, dude. All around great guy. I really highly recommend you check him out. I wouldn't be surprised if he's watching this, or would be watching this and going, yeah, some people do misconcept my autism and or something, and just blow me off. Because a lot of people with different mental illnesses struggle with this all the time. And it's not funny. There's irreparable damage to that doing it. Like if someone said, "Oh, my son has," saying the wrong, or this person has the wrong mental illness or the wrong mental challenges, they could be mistreated for the wrong thing and the doctors wouldn't even know it. They would just jump and say, okay, he's got this. People are saying he has this. Okay, let's go. And it's like, no. And people with mental illness struggle with this kind of issue every day where people get misconcepted with different illness. And it's with the wrong mental illness. And it's extremely irreparable damage because even think about this. What if you were told you had the wrong? What if you were told you had this mental illness, like schizophrenia, but you really had DID? You you are someone says, "Oh, he's just some guy who's having just an outburst and crazy man." No, no, no. Oh, he's someone who has no. He's really someone who has a social anxiety issue and just needs to be helped calm down. And people take him to oh gosh, a psych ward. Which that's not good. Please do not misunderstand someone's mental illness. It's not funny. Even though I don't have DID, even though I don't have schizophrenia, I have been mistreated my whole life with this kind of crap. Really did. And it never ended well. I had people betray me, stab me in the back. Just, please, guys, it's not funny.